Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, She Sews Happiness. I'm Helen and I'm here today just a wee bit of an update as to what's been happening in my sewing space, things that I have been working on, projects that I'm planning to work on. I just thought this might be the last chance I get to chat to you for a couple of weeks, so I'm due to go into hospital on Sunday and hopefully come home with a baby a couple of days after that. So there won't be too much sewing going on for a couple of weeks, I am sure, but I will share with you any updates of things that I have been creating or planning or buying, because I've been buying quite a lot of nice fabrics. I'm waiting for them all to arrive. I have a few things I can show you today, but with the postal strikes and things, it's just taking a little bit longer than usual for parcels to arrive. So I'm trying to be patient. I was kind of thinking if I have them all, I'll get them all pre-washed, they're ready to go when I come back from hospital. But let's be honest, I'm not going to be sewing as soon as I get back from hospital anyhow, so there'll be lots of time for pre-washing then. I have been in the sewing room today for a couple of hours. I have something behind me here that I've made today. It only took me about 4 hours to convince myself to start it. This is a fabric. It's a beautiful soft sweater knit fabric, which I got from Jenny Stitches Fabrics probably a couple of months back now, and it's just been a moustache. I've always known what I was going to do with it. It was always going to be what you see behind me, a True Bias Marlo sweater slash cardigan for those of us in the UK. And yeah, I finally got that stitched up. This is a pattern I have made before. It's not my usual style at all, but as I've talked about over the last couple of months, my pregnancy style has been completely changed, you know, as a matter of necessity rather than anything else. So the Marlo sweater slash cardigan is basically oversized. It features these drop shoulders. That's not really a look I go for. To me, that's, you know, it screams loungewear. But I guess that's kind of what I need at the moment, and when I get back from hospital and things, I'll just want cozy things to throw on top of, you know, breastfeeding friendly dresses and whatnot. So yeah, finally stitched that up. I made the cropped version, which you can probably see just behind me there, because again, I don't really like to be drowned in my garments, so I made a little cropped version. And I think what kind of instigated me to get on it and make that was that I was sent some beautiful buttons at the weekend from Meg at Pigeon Wishes. She has a new collaboration with La Petite Maison Couture, and it's called the Heritage Collection. There are 4 different designs of buttons in this beautiful new collection, and I absolutely loved the buttons that she sent me, and I think that's really why the cardigan has been stitched up. The buttonholes are in. I've just got the free stop on there, ready to stitch on and open up those buttonholes. So I'll just give you a wee look at these. These are absolutely adorable. Firstly, they come in these gorgeous little boxes, which I think were really cute, and they really do encapsulate a very different aesthetic, which is what the ladies seem to be going for with this little collection. These do feel incredibly vintage to me for a resin button. You know, we're used to the more modern type styles from Pigeon Wishes, but lovely colouring in these in particular. I absolutely love these. So this one here is called Un Café à Paris, and they're beautiful. They almost kind of have this tortoise shell effect going on. I don't know if it'll zoom in really well and really focus, but I'll slip a little picture in so you can see them properly. But yeah, it's like this electric blue against a tortoise shell, which I just absolutely loved, and I'm going to stitch those onto my Marlo sweater. And then I got another of the button in the range, which is Creme de la Creme, and again, absolutely stunning color choices there. I just love those cool tones and the warm tones all in one, and these will definitely end up on a piece of outerwear, which is what I'm hoping to get stuck into, and I don't know if it's actually focusing very well, but if not, I'll slip pictures in. But yeah, absolutely love these new products, and I love the packaging. I love everything about them. But yeah, that one in particular is going to end up on some outerwear where they will be visible at all times. Bad hair day. Fringe will not stay out of my face. So that's what I've been working on, and everything else I think from here on has not really been for me at all. So one of the other things I worked on in the last week or more, probably last week, I mean this is what, Tuesday? It was last week I made this. So I made a shirt, which you can see here. I've made this for Simon. I tend to kind of like make him a shirt every 6 months or so. But to be honest, I think the last time I did was actually this time last year. And I believe, like this, it was in a brushed cotton, so it's perfect for the colder weather. And it was the same shirt pattern because I've tried and tested it. It fits really, really well. The length is perfect, the shape is perfect. He loves them and wears them a lot, so why would I deviate from that? And again, I don't know if you can see, but there are lovely little Pigeon Wishes buttons on this shirt as well. So it's the Thread Theory Fairfield button-up shirt. And I have to be honest, because I have mostly been sewing with jersey for the last few months, I almost kind of had this fear that I had forgotten how to sew anything other than jersey. And I did have to think twice about certain things. The felled seams, the burrito method, which I thought I'd forgotten. I was super careful when sewing buttonholes and things because again, I haven't been doing them for such a long time. You know, all the little details that I haven't thought about in ages did actually require a bit of work, lining up my patterns so that everything kind of looks symmetrical. But yeah, I haven't even got a photo of him wearing this yet, so I'll maybe pop in a photo of him wearing the last one because I do have that, so you can see what that pattern looks like. But if you're looking for a really good staple shirt pattern that is easy to follow, and even I can follow it months later after not making anything complicated for a while, yeah, this is a great one, and it's perfect for like Christmas presents and things like that. I've made a very relaxed casual shirt, so I've only interfaced like half of the pieces, you know, in particular the cuffs, the collar and the stand and things like that, but you can make a more formal shirt out of this pattern as well, and all you really need to do is change up the amount of interfacing that you use. But yeah, that's one of the things that I have been working on. Where am I going to set that out of the way? Over here. And then I hope he's not watching these videos. I don't think he does. I don't know when he'd get time to. But I have made him something else as well, which I was going to save until Christmas because every Christmas he does get something handmade. And the pattern I've used this year is the Helen's Closet Jackson tee/sweater, and I have made a sweater. So this is a beautiful sweater knit fabric, which is kind of brushed and fleeced, so really, really cozy. And there's bits of it all over my ironing board that all need to be tidied up. So yeah, I've made this for him for this Christmas. And this fabric, I just thought it was a different colour. He's got lots of greys and naturals and blacks and navies and things like that. So I thought I'd bring a bit of colour into the wardrobe this time. And this is a fabric I got from First for Fabrics. And they actually do this really amazing thing where they create bundles. So with your sweater jersey, here you get the ribbing along with it, and they pair it off with a lovely Marflex thread as well. So I just managed to sew this up in about 40 minutes because using the Marflex speeds up the process so much because you just use that nice straight stitch instead of a zigzag or a lightning stitch or whatever. And yes, I do have an overlocker. I just choose not to sew on my overlocker very often. I tend to use my overlocker mostly for finishing my seams. So it's a very expensive equivalent to a pair of pinking shears. But there you have it. I like having it, but I also like the process of sewing. And then in this little bundle, I mean, there was 2 meters of fabric, and it does say that you need about 2 meters, I believe, to make the sweater, but you don't, especially when you're using ribbing and things like that. So I had some left over, so I made a little one as well, which is super, super cute. The pattern I used for that was just the strawberry sweatshirt pattern from Poppy and Jazz. I've made a few of those, so there's a few of those ready to go for the little one when he gets home. I actually have about 70 centimeters left out of that 2 meters, and I'm thinking I can probably squeeze myself out a little cropped sweater. And one of the patterns I absolutely love and haven't made since probably this time last year around Christmas, and if I can find the little picture I'll pop a couple in of it. It's a Seamwork pattern. I think it's called Astoria. It's the Astoria sweater. But yeah, it doesn't use very much fabric, particularly if you've got some ribbing and stuff there to use for the neckband and whatnot as well. I may not have enough of that, but I can always get some. I can acquire that pretty easily and use up what's left of that beautifully soft sweater fabric. So yeah, got that done. Next thing I got done then was to make some little muslin cloths. So as I've been out and about shopping for all the necessities for the little one, you know, and I've been purchasing loads of stuff, and one of the things that I've been buying and then coming home and not loving, and I know this sounds really silly, but it's the muslin cloths. And no matter where I go or how much money I spend on them, they're just never soft enough for me. So I decided to get myself some lovely double gauze fabric, and I think I maybe had like 1.5 meters, and I've managed to stitch up with this beautiful little teddy bear print, which I think I've shown you in one of my other videos, a few little cloths. I just thought they were much softer, much friendlier, and yeah, I got this from Once Upon a Fabrics, and the quality is absolutely beautiful. So those have also been stitched up. Set those across there. I think that's all the sewing I've done. I've done some cross stitch. I have, which are here because they need to be washed and pressed. But I'll show you these really, really quickly. The first one is something for my craft room. It's Make, Do and Mend. It's made basically from one of the Bothy thread kits. So everything I needed to complete this came, and I just loved those little mice. They were so cute, and they kind of gave me those Cinderella Disney vibes. So I really enjoyed stitching that up and making it come to life. And then off the back of that, I got really excited. That was a Margaret Sherry design, and if you're into cross stitch, you'll know who Margaret Sherry is. But then I had one of her magazines with just her collection of works in it, and there was this little design here. I think it's called Coffee and Cuddles, so I couldn't resist doing this up, and this will find home in my kitchen just above the coffee machines. So it'll be lovely. So yeah, that's what I've been making. I do have more plans, and one of the things I was hoping to get done, but I don't think I will because of the postal strikes. I've sent away to get a lot of pattern printing from Jenny at Jenny Stitches, but with postal strikes for the next 2 days, I'm doubtful that those will come in time for me to do these before Sunday when I go to hospital. But I got some more brushed cotton, and I was going to make, can I think of the name of the pattern? I think it's Elliot, but I'm going to check because I don't like being wrong. Being wrong does not please me. No, it's not. It's not Elliot. I don't even know what that is. It's the Eastwood Pyjamas. So it's by the same designer who made the shirt pattern that I've sewn quite a few times, Thread Theory, and I think they're based in Canada, although I purchased it, I believe, on the Fold line. But yeah, it's to sew up some pajama bottoms for Christmas as well. And again, that's a fabric which I got from Festive Fabrics. They have a lot of gorgeous brushed cottons at the moment, and I really liked those colours for a nice masculine tone. So that's some of the sewing plans that I have before Christmas included there. After Christmas, I have some other things that I might get on with, or I might just stash away until next winter when my figure is back to where it should be and I just feel more comfortable wearing fitted garments. But yeah, I just really want to basically make some more coats. So if you've seen my last couple of videos, you'll know I was making a couple of Jessie coatigans, and they have been total staples getting me through the last few weeks, and they'll get me through a few more. They'll get me through the rest of this winter, I am sure. But one project that I do have in mind is to make myself a proper waterproof jacket. So I have here some fabric, and it's not very exciting, I'm afraid, but this is going to be top of my list kind of around Christmas and into the new year. One of the things I really want to make, and it is an essential. I live in Northern Ireland. It is blustery, rainy, cold and snowy, so I will need something like this. So this is fabric that I've been sent by Minerva. So you can see soft shell, fleece backed, so it'll be really comfortable to wear. I have 3 meters of this here, and it was sent to me as a brand ambassador. So it was sent and basically gifted in exchange for a blog, which you can catch on my Minerva profile. And I'll actually pop a link in case you don't know it. That's where all of my Minerva makes will be shared. But I am going to make, I think, the SewOver Dorothy jacket. I think it's the Dorothy jacket. It's the waterproof one anyhow. I just need to get myself all the hardware and the bits and pieces to go with that. But that'll be my priority project for the winter. So I'm going to set that aside for now. And a couple of the fabrics that I've purchased recently have arrived. I'm waiting for so much stuff, maybe too much stuff. A lot of it might get shelved until next year, but that's kind of what happens. It's, you know, that adage that collecting fabric is a totally separate hobby from using it, right? So one of the other things then I have here is some wool coating fabric, and again, this is from Minerva. I actually purchased this in their sale, but it's this gorgeous pink and black with gold lyrics running through it, and I'm sure I probably will not get around to sewing that this year, but I bought it in the sale. It was a ridiculous price. I think ordinarily it's like $12.99, so it's already not an expensive coating fabric. $12.99 a meter is nothing. But I think I paid like £3 a meter for this when it was in the sale. So I bought it. It's there. I think it'll make a beautiful piece of clothing, but it'll probably be next year before I do that. So we'll set that aside. And then I don't know what it is, but it's all the coating fabrics that have been getting my attention. And the other one that I have here, and again, I bought this because it was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous bargain. This is some kind of wool blend coating from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn. So this is totally in my color scheme. I'm not sure really what I would call it. It's kind of like a paprika-ish color, turmeric. That's not what they called it, but I can't even remember what they called it. But again, I just love the color, and I thought that will make a beautiful like 3/4 length coat for next winter, if nothing else. I know I probably won't use that this year. Over there, there's 2X Ted Baker dead stock fabrics that I purchased from Rainbow Fabrics last year. I have red, and I have a gorgeous kind of soft baby pink, and they didn't get used this year either. Obviously, when I got pregnant, a lot of my sewing plans went out the window because I had to change my style and things that worked for me. So yeah, that's getting added to my collection of wool coatings that hopefully in the next year I'll get to make. But yeah, I think that's really what I've been up to. I can't imagine I'll get up to much else over the next few days. Probably go back to the old cross stitching and just have an easy time, which suits me. Do some baking, that's what I've been enjoying recently. So last night I was making gingerbread, which is really tasty. But yeah, it'll be little things that I focus on from here on in. I keep saying I'm going to start knitting. I haven't started knitting yet, and I have a friend who's encouraging me to start knitting, so maybe we will get the knitting needles out. And I don't know if I'm going to knit for the baby, because actually I have friends who've done that, and I have colleagues who've made really beautiful things. So I don't know, we'll see where we go from here. But I also quite enjoy knitting like little tiny Christmas projects and things, like little Christmas tree decorations and whatnot. So you never know what I get up to in the next few weeks. I'll probably pack some cross stitch in my hospital bag as well, just to keep me occupied and focused and distracted at the same time. So yeah, things are about to change, and we'll see how I adapt to that. Got a few days, hopefully. You never know, of course. And I actually think I might put up some Christmas decorations as well, so that when I do come home from hospital, it will be, you know, in the first week of December, the house feels a little bit festive. So maybe in the next couple of days I'll do something like that. I don't really like putting my Christmas decorations up before the 1st of December, but it might be the only good chance I get. So think about that, and hopefully I'll be back in a week or two, healthy, well, with a healthy baby, and be able to catch up with you all. So as ever, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you do enjoy the content of the channel, please do like and subscribe and all of that. It does help the little channel grow, and yeah, I quite enjoy being here, so might as well make it worth my time. So wherever you are in the world, hopefully everything is well with you, and hopefully you're getting some festive projects underway, whether it's gifts or just things for the home or whatever it is. Maybe that's what I'll do the next couple of days, is make tiny little Christmassy projects with like the box of fat quarters that sits over there and hardly ever gets touched, something like that, just something to keep me occupied. And if I do, I'll share those with you before Christmas. So yeah, wherever you are, take care of yourself. Thank you again for stopping by, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.